Welcome to Main in Golf, where I teach the simplest swing method you can possibly learn, the single plane swing. Today, I'm gonna give you the 2 moves that are gonna give you effortless power that you can implement today. Imagine hitting solid, powerful golf shots every time you get up there to hit it. Sounds great, right? Well, the secret lies in the shoulders and the trail elbow. So if you've been struggling with your golf swing, these 2 moves could be just the thing you're looking for. Shoulder down, tuck the trail elbow. You'll want to stick around because if you master these 2 tips that I'm going to talk about in this video, hitting crispy, consistent golf shots is going to become second nature to you. And I'm firstly going to show you the tips, and then I'm going to show you how to do it, because only giving you the tip is not going to do much. But shoulder down, tuck the trail elbow. So if you're ready for golf to mean happiness and not frustration, let's do it. So the 2 tips are shoulder down and trail elbow tucked. When we combine these 2 tips, we get crispy, consistent golf shots over and over and over again. And this is exactly what you want when you play golf. You're out there, you mainly want to hit the ball solid. And these 2 tips will get you doing that. Shoulder down, tuck the trail elbow, and keep it tucked. So shoulder down means ball, then the ground, and elbow tucked means shallow and from the inside. So when you combine shoulder down and elbow tucked, you get ball first, divot second, shallow, and from the inside. I don't really know what else you would want in your golf swing, as that's all you really need. So I want to talk real quick about why we want our shoulder down and our trail elbow tucked, fundamentally, although I just kind of told you why, but I'm really going to show you why. And then I'm going to get into how exactly you need to do this. So when you're setting up to the ball, I would want you to be in a position where if you just simply swing your arms back and around you, you hit in front of the ball. So I'm set up, and if I just swing back and through, and back and through, and back and through, I'm hitting in front of this ball every single time. So if you imagine a line, the ball's on the line, I'm hitting in front of the line, not behind it, but right on this line to in front of it every time. And so that's how you know you're the correct distance from the ball when you're setting up to it. If we're set up properly to the golf ball, where when your arms naturally swing around you, they're just running into the ball without you having to do anything, then when you swing, you want to maintain the same relationship to the ground. And I can best show you this with a hula hoop. So I have my handy dandy hula hoop. So golf is played on an angle. As humans, we stand upright, we're straight up and down. And so if you can imagine the hula hoop, 90 degrees to that, at this point we're just turning back and turning through. There's no tilt going on in the swing. So if I was just standing straight up and down, this is how low I would get the club and where the club would naturally want to swing, right here. So to get the club to the ground, I need to bend over a little bit. Now let's see with the hula hoop, what happens when I do that. And this is important and why we need to turn our shoulder down in the golf swing. So as you'll saw, the club was about, half a foot off the ground? So then I would need to bend over a little bit. And so you can see what the hula hoop does. So basically the hula hoop is visually showing you your relationship to the ground. And so because you're setting up where if you just swing your arms around you, the club's just running into the ball, that's all we want to do in the swing. We don't want to overcomplicate this. We want the club running into the ball in the easiest way possible. So if I'm like this and we bent forward, we can't just turn anymore. Because look what's going to happen to the hula hoop if I just turn my shoulders flat, like up here. Look what the hula hoop does. It loses that relationship to the ball. We want the hula hoop to look the exact same here as if we turned. And to do that, you need to turn your shoulder down. Because as soon as you turn your shoulders flat, you're coming up off the ball, and now you can't hit the ground in front of the ball and get that ball first contact. So however much you bend forward, this is how you need to turn your shoulders in the swing to be able to hit in front of the golf ball in the easiest way possible. And so that's why the tip of don't turn your shoulders flat, turn your shoulder down is really gonna help you hit the ground in front of the ball. And so you can practice with a hula hoop, or you can just stick your arms out and try to be an airplane of the right amount of turn and tilt. So that's what I'm gonna do right here. I'm going to turn my shoulder down and I'm going to hit in front of this golf ball. Just like that. So if a lot of people just followed that first tip of shoulder down, they would probably still slice the golf ball. So we want to add the swing from the inside and shallow to the hitting in front of the ball equation. And to do that, the simplest tip I know to get you to do that is tuck in this trail elbow, just like this, tuck it in. Because if you keep this elbow tucked in the whole swing, that's gonna mean shallow and from the inside. So I'm gonna not tuck it in, and I'm gonna have it over, and you'll see my arms are gonna wanna lift. They're not gonna wanna swing around me, they're gonna wanna lift. So let's do that. Shoulder down, but I'm not tucking the trail elbow. I'm cutting across it, and it's gonna be a big slice. It's probably fine with a wedge, but as you get to the driver, that's a big, big problem. But now I am going to tuck in the trail elbow. So not like this, I'm gonna tuck it in. And that's gonna get me coming shallow and from the inside. Crispy. And the other thing that tucking this elbow is gonna do for you is that's how you're gonna get this effortless power in the swing, and the thing came loose here. There we go. As this position, if you keep it tucked in, is the most powerful position in the golf swing. And the title of the video was how I get effortless power. And so you get effortless power by coming shallow and from the inside and hitting the ball first. But the other thing about this position of the trail arm is it's the most powerful position you can be at in the swing. It's the position your body's trying to get to the whole time. Because if you lift your arms and you don't slice it, what's happening is the club's falling behind you because it's trying to get into this tuck position that it wants to be in to sling around you and get that effortless power. So shoulder down means ball first, tucked in means shallow and from the inside, and keeping that arm tucked in means powerful. So it's one thing to tell you shoulder down and keep the trail elbow tucked. It's another to show you exactly how to do it. So I want to show you exactly how to put your shoulder down in the swing, because there's a very incorrect way to do it and a correct way to do it. And the first thing that I want you to know is you need to turn around your spine, and the hula hoop really represents your spine angle on the swing. It shows you how bent over you are. So if I'm set up to the ball here, and this is the correct and incorrect way to do it. So where's this hula hoop pointing? Where's the hula hoop pointing when I'm setting up to this ball here? So I can do it. See how the hula hoop's pointing out here? So when I was first learning golf and watching a lot of YouTube golf instruction, you hear shoulder at the ball, right? Shoulder at the ball. But there's a key distinction in this video that I want to make. I said shoulder down. I didn't say shoulder at the ball, because if you saw, the hula hoop was pointing out here. So to correctly turn around your spine and the correct amount of shoulder down, that's around your spine, pointing at that spot out there. That's how you turn around you while keeping your shoulder down. If with this club, I literally pointed my shoulders at the ball, the club is going to fly. So you don't just turn your shoulders flat like you saw, and you don't turn your shoulders at the ball. You turn your shoulders around your spine, and a hula hoop can really visually, quickly make this make sense. So this swing is going to be shoulders at the ball, and then the next swing will be the correct turn. So shoulders literally at the ball, and this is what I did, and I started hitting chunky slices out there. You can see how much this mat moved because I just came so far down on it. So that was the incorrect way. You know, not bad, but it starts to get inconsistent because you want to be from the inside and shallow. So now I'm going to do around me with my shoulders pointing in that spot out there. And it's going to be crispy. Boom. You can see the mat barely even moved because I'm just kind of getting that thing. So same thing. Shoulder down, but not at the ball. And it's just striped. So what you can do is you can put a line down on where the hula hoop's pointing, and you can attach a club to your shoulders, and you can trace that line back and through the whole swing, and that will get you turning your shoulders down the correct amount where you're coming from the inside and hitting the ball first. The next thing you need to do to be able to turn your shoulders down is you need to stay centered over the ball. Because to put your shoulders down, that's gonna get really hard to do if you're shifting weight to your back foot. So I'm over the ball and I'm gonna put weight on the back foot. I'm gonna move my head off the ball. You can see my head over the ball. I'm gonna move off the ball, and you can see how this club's coming up. See that? It's not like this, it's going up, and I'm kind of standing up out of the shot. Whereas if you stay centered over the ball, you can put your shoulder down. So by keeping your head over the ball, keeping your weight centered, to a lot of you, it's gonna feel like you're putting your weight forward, and you can turn your shoulders down. So by keeping your weight centered over the ball, you can get those crispy golf shots and hit the ball first because you can turn your shoulder down. So let's do that. Boom. And so to add the elbow tucked in and from the inside, if you're getting that good turn, all you really need to do is start with that elbow tucked in. Start with this elbow tucked in and focus on keeping it tucked in while you turn your shoulders down and around. So tucked in and keep it tucked. And that is how you're gonna get that effortless power in the swing. Hit that ball first, crispy, nice iron shot out there. And it's the same thing with the driver. It's the same thing with the longer clubs. It actually is a necessity with the longer clubs. But you're gonna see with the hula hoop is you're less bent over. So your shoulders aren't gonna turn completely flat, but they're not gonna turn as much down because you're not bent over as much. So again, if you struggle with your longer clubs, just see how much you're bending over, right? See how much you're bending over and go, okay, my shoulders need to point along this line the whole swing. And you can kind of get some reps in and feel and see your hands pointing and tracing along that line and go, okay, this is what I need to do with a 3 hybrid. I wasn't turning enough, or whatever it is, or my hips were locking out. And then you take that club, get set up, shoulder down, but not at the ball, elbow tucked, and I'm gonna focus on keeping it tucked. And you can absolutely rope it out there and get that effortless power if you focus on those 2 tips. But again, I didn't want to just give you the 2 tips. I want to show you how exactly to do it and where you can go wrong. If you're new to the channel, I teach the single plane swing, as I believe it is the easiest swing method you can do to hit great golf shots. There are 4 fundamentals to the swing that I teach. The first fundamental is setting up on your unique swing plane. And a part of that is having this elbow tucked, because your unique swing plane is, in other words, how you uniquely swing the club around you. And so you want to set up for that and have this elbow tucked, and it easily works around you and back down to the ball. The second fundamental is turning correctly, and you learn that with the hula hoop, as I showed how you turn your shoulders more closer to flat the longer the club, and you turn 90 degrees to the angle of your spine. So here, I'm turning flat because my spine's straight up and down, but as I bend over, I want to turn around however much I'm bent over, and not necessarily at the ball. The third fundamental that's directly correlated to be able to turn correctly in the single plane swing method that I teach is keeping your weight centered over the ball. And this is how you're gonna maintain consistent contact with the ground, is keeping your head over the ball and turning your shoulders down. And the fourth fundamental is keeping your lead arm straight as keeping your lead arm straight, again, is also gonna promote consistent contact, but it's also gonna keep your hands low and around you on their swing plane, back and through. Whereas if you bend it, it can get super high. This elbow gets untucked and inconsistency starts to creep in your golf game. So I have a full step-by-step course that goes in depth on each of those 4 fundamentals and how to uniquely adapt those into your golf game and your swing, because we're all created uniquely. But the fundamentals will still apply to everyone. If you found some helpful tips in this video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing, as that would really help me out. But again, I hope you found some helpful tips in this video, and I hope the rest of your day goes well.